Well, alright, Comic Book Collector Sheffield, and thanks for joining me again. Before we do anything else this week, let's get this out of the way. David Carpenter. No, I'm not going to ask you to stick around until the end of the episode this time. If you remember, David Carpenter believed he'd found immortality
There is
through
nothing wrong
hypnosis
with your television set.
via the great
Do not
Mesmero.
attempt to adjust the picture.
He also ensured that no one else
We
could
are
achieve this when he
controlling
murdered
transmission.
Mesmero,
If we wish to
He
make
was
it
captured
louder,
almost
we
immediately
will bring
though,
up the volume.
which for most people
If we wish
would
to
be a
make
bit
it
of a...
softer, we will tune it to a whisper.
The electric chair is the best
We
test
will
of
control the
immortality.
horizontal. We will
However,
control the
In
vertical.
a cruel twist of
We
fate,
can roll the
he's
image.
sentenced to spend the
Make
rest
it
of
flutter.
his life in an institution
We
for
can change the focus to a soft blur
well, never mind
or
it.
sharpen it to crystal clarity.
So, there you go. I hope that was worth the wait. Anyway, first up this week, TimeWarp number 1. Oh, wait a second.
It's just a jump to the left.
This features If the World Had to End Twice, Mating Game, The Righteous Ones, The Survivors, Forecast, The Monsters, Rescue, and The Man Who Could See Yesterday. I've got a couple more Midnight Tales in. Here's number 4. The wraparound story is called Once Upon a Time. Then there's The Tower Maiden, A Wizard's Wife, and The Golden Apple. Number 14. The wraparound in this is called The Time Machine. Then there's Know Thyself. I'm sure I've read a version of this in 2000 AD, where the main character ends up killing themselves. I imagine there's been numerous versions of this story over the years though. Love Thy Neighbour.
And this is out a bunch of white honkies. No, knickers, cobblers.
And Criminal Offence. Dick Tracy, third of 3. This is something I've been after since it came out in the 90s. It's drawn by Kyle Baker, I'm a big fan of his work. Parts 1 and 2 of this show events that lead up to the Dick Tracy movie. And part 3 is the movie itself. I've also got a couple more Ripley's Believe It or Not in. Here's number 62. The Roommate. When the Pharaoh Returns. I Refuse to Obey That Order. And Why Are We Parted? Issue number 38. I love that cover. The Ghost Who Would Be King. Xena's Friend. The Girls Who Cried Ghost. And Revenge of the Red Spirit. And then we have the Comic Muppet book. This is a comic book version of a fairly typical episode of The Muppets. And if you don't know what a Muppet is, well. And before we go, my amazing assistant editor has a question for you.